Love Bugs! Today we're going to finish our story, Children Past and Present. We're going to read about schools, and then we're going to read the closing, and then we're also going to combine it with our writing for today. So make sure you have a piece of writing paper nearby. Now you could use regular lined paper or the paper that I gave you that looks like this, because it has room for us to draw. So have paper nearby you so that when it's time for us to write, you're ready, okay? Let's read about schools from the past and compare it with schools from now, today. Okay, on this side, as always, this is our past page, and on this side, this is our present page. Chapter 4, Schools. In the past, not all children went to school. If they did, they often went to a one-room schoolhouse. Children of many different ages learned together. So, Love Bugs, when you think about Claremont Avenue School, we had 3 classrooms, 3 different kindergarten classrooms with 3 different teachers. We had 3 different first grades. You had a computer room just for computers, a room to go to do art. Every grade had a different room. Back then, the school was just one big building. So you might be in a class with a 5th grader, and that teacher had to teach all the different kids of all the different ages in one room. Can you imagine that? Students worked together and played together in that one-room schoolhouse. Today, most children go to school. Some schools are big and others are small. Some children go to school at home. Now, right now, Love Bugs, all across the United States, most students are going to school at home right now because of what's going on in our world. But usually, we're in school together. These students also work together and play together. When we're at school, you're working with your friends, you're going to recess with your friends, you're playing in your specials with your friends. So today, instead of doing a Venn diagram, we're going to talk a little bit about what's different. Well, what's different? Shout it out for me. Right, they had one room for the whole school. We have many rooms in our school. Very good. They have lots of children learning from one teacher, and those kids are all different ages. So you could have 5th graders, 3rd graders, and kindergartners all together learning in the same class. But in our schools, we have different classrooms for all those ages. So you usually stay with the children who are the same age as you. What are some things that are alike? Yeah, you have a teacher. They had teachers. They work with their friends. You work with your friends. They played with their friends, and you play with your friends. Some differences, too, that the book doesn't talk about, Love Bugs. In the past, in schools, you know, they had a chalkboard. That was about it, and the children had their paper and the things to write with. You have a lot more in your schools. You might have whiteboards. You might have special boards that you can touch, like iPads that can do different things, computers, laptops. You know, you have so much more that you can use in school that they didn't have in the past. My opinion, I feel like we're very lucky to have all these things available to us now in the present that they didn't have back then. Okay, at the back of our book, we have what we call the conclusion. In a nonfiction book, we've talked about this. This is where they kind of give us a summary. They sum up. They tell us everything that the book was about. In some ways, your life would have been different if you were a child long ago. In other ways, your life would have been just the same. What do you think life will be like for children in the future? So let's review. In the past, they had toys and games. This is the clothing that they wore. They had tools for learning, like this is what they would use to count. And this is what their school looked like. Look at the toys and games of the past compared to the toys and games now. Look at the clothes from the past compared to how you get clothes now. This is what schools typically looked like in the past. This is an example of what a school might look like now. This is a tool that they used to add and subtract when they were counting. And this is a type of tool that you'll get to use as you get older in math. like a calculator. Now, love bugs, what I thought we could write about today, I really liked this question. What do you think life will be like for children in the future? So just think about, look at how clothes have changed from past until now. Look at how the games have changed from the past until now. Look at how the schools have changed. Now, life could be anything. The ways people get around, the ways people can reach out and talk to each other. When I was in school, if we were being taught at home the way we are right now, and I wanted to call a family member, I could use the phone, but we didn't have something like FaceTime where I could see them and they could see me. So that's already a difference from when I was little until now. You have things like FaceTime and you have things where you can have these types of meetings where you could see someone's face from their house and they could see your face. They didn't have that when I was little. So what do you think they're going to have in the future? So today's writing, I want you to get creative and you could talk to a family member. What do you think life will be like for children in the future? Maybe you might want to think about what kind of games do you think the children will be playing in the future? Okay. What kind of clothes? Maybe you want to write about the clothes children will wear in the future. All right. So here's how you're going to start today. And then you're going to finish it on your own and send me a picture so I can see your work from today, okay? We're going to start by saying in, capital I, finger space, the, that's a sight word, in the future. In the future, I think, okay, so you're going to copy mine just like this. I think children will, this is your start. Okay, in the future, I think children will. And then what are you going to say? Okay, I'm going to show you what I think, but I want you to come up with your own, okay? I don't want you to copy mine. In the future, I think children will, I'm going to say, play video games with no remote controllers. Which they might have now, but that's just what I'm saying, okay? Just to give you an example. So like some systems might have that already, and that's okay. But in the future, I think they're not even gonna have the option of remotes anymore. I think it's just all gonna be no remote controls. So then in my picture, I would draw like a TV with a game on it. So I'm gonna have question marks. And a little guy in a hat running. Now remember, when I do this, I do a quick draw. I want you to take your time at home. I'm just doing something quickly for you. And then, so that's the TV. Maybe TVs won't even look like this in the future. Maybe that's what you'll write about. In the future, I think children will have TVs that look, and you could tell me what they look like, okay? And here's one of the children playing it from behind. Here's the back of their head. And here are their hands. And this child is doing the motion. To make that work. And look, no, and I'm going to make a label. No remote controls. so that you can see there's no remote controls in their hand. So now I want to know what you think. In the future, I think children will. Now you can talk to me about games that the children will play, maybe music, what they'll listen to, maybe how they'll watch shows. Will they have TV? Will it be something new? Maybe how they get around. Are there going to be bicycles anymore? Or what might the bicycles look like? Is there something new instead of scooters and skateboards? I want to hear your idea about in the future. When you finish today, Love Bugs, make sure mom or dad or somebody in your family takes a picture and sends it to me on Remind so you get credit that you're doing your work, okay? Have fun with it. I can't wait to see it, Love Bugs. Great job today.